Hi everyone, and welcome back to our channel. I'm Remy Isdaner with Mirlo Real Estate Partners, and this video is going to highlight 3 of the most common mistakes for leasing commercial real estate. Whether this is your first time leasing a commercial space, or you simply don't have a lot of experience with the process. If you can avoid these 3 mistakes, you'll have solid footing with your new space, setting yourself and your business up for success. But before we get started, if you're new to our channel, be sure to like, share, and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on our other videos, where we cover the ins and outs of commercial real estate. The first mistake we'll cover is considering just one property option. As a tenant representative, I've worked with a variety of tenants, from lawyers leasing high-end office space to landscapers leasing a warehouse building. And the best negotiation strategy that works for any type of tenant, for any type of deal, is to submit an offer on multiple locations. In other words, be sure you tour multiple spaces, establish a short list of top options, and submit a letter of intent for each. You may leave the tour leaning heavily in one direction, preferring one location over all others. But you still should entertain your backups, and here's why. Your top option may not actually end up working out. Maybe that landlord has already received interest from other parties and prefers their use. Or they pose less risk on paper. Maybe the other tenants have lower construction costs or have greater financial backing. In some cases, there isn't much you can do to improve your chances of getting first priority to a space. On the other hand, you might find you aren't in competition with any other tenants, but you run into a very difficult or unreasonable landlord where working with them becomes untenable. They could have overpromised terms to their investors, and they just aren't willing to give you a fair market deal. And sometimes it's not the landlord's fault at all. After meeting with an architect, you might discover the amount of work needed to make the space fit your needs is just too expensive or not feasible. It's worth mentioning that even if your top option hums along smoothly and you don't run into any of these obstacles, you still want the landlord to know you're considering other spaces. This keeps them honest and puts the onus on them to provide competitive terms. If the landlord knows you're sold on their space, regardless of the deal terms, they have no reason to offer extra incentives. Instead, they'll attempt to hold your feet over the proverbial fire. The second common mistake is timing. Don't start the process too late or too early. Proper timing is key. Ideally, you want to give yourself 9 to 12 months to complete a commercial real estate transaction. But this can increase if the market is super competitive, you have a large space requirement, or you're a corporation, where decisions are often made by committee. Starting the process too soon, however, can lead to a landlord not taking you seriously. That said, if you start the process too late, you lose some of your negotiating power or leverage. Given the fairly well understood timeline for working through a real estate deal, landlords recognize the closer you are to a lease expiration, the less likely you are to walk away and go to another location. It's not uncommon for a landlord to drag their feet in the negotiation to increase the chances of this happening. You also want to be sure you're allowing enough time for due diligence and construction. It takes time for architects to develop the right plans for your business and to fully investigate the space. Construction can also take many months, and if you don't have time for that, you're drastically reducing your options to those that are move-in ready. To make matters worse, these options are few and far between. They likely cost more, and you could find yourself having to settle on a layout that's not conducive to your business. The final mistake we'll cover today, and my favorite, is DIY leasing. Don't try this at home. Don't try this alone. Hopefully you've watched our other videos and you know that our tenant rep services are entirely free to you. If you haven't, let's take a moment. In real estate, tenants and buyers don't pay brokerage fees. Landlords and sellers do. It's that simple. Now that we have that out of the way, the landlord will already have funds allocated for leasing commissions to pay both their own agent and the tenant's agent once the lease is signed. The agents then split the commission. The amount of time and money your agent can save you is remarkable. Commercial agents know the market. They're familiar with the area, the buildings, the landlords, and the types of concessions tenants are getting. They know what types of deals are possible, which landlords are best to work with, the vacancy rates in your area, or what spaces might become available before they hit the market. They also bring negotiation firepower and level the playing field. The landlord is a seasoned real estate professional. It only makes sense that you bring a professional negotiator to the table too. Common landlord tactics and strategy diminish when a tenant is properly represented. Real estate agents also know other professionals in the industry, like architects, general contractors, lenders, and attorneys. If you don't already know somebody in a particular industry, They will be able to connect you with professionals they trust. Real estate is a huge expense for a business, often the second or third highest. And since commercial leases last for years, a lot's riding on a single deal. Given the stakes, you want to be sure you're using all the resources at your disposal, especially when they're free. Commercial real estate is incredibly complex, and if you aren't an insider, good information can be difficult to come by. In my practice, I'm always growing and serving clients, providing them with the best tools to make the right decisions for their business. If you have any specific questions or comments about what I've shared today, feel free to contact me directly by email or phone, or leave a comment below. If you found value or liked the video and would like more information about how to properly navigate the commercial real estate world, check out these other videos. Again, I'm Remy Isdaner with Mirlo Real Estate Partners. Let's connect again soon.